What's up everybody, it's Charlie and I'm back. So a few weeks ago I made a video about switching from testosterone shots to testosterone gel. Basically I said that I am not seeing any differences in my levels and it's overall been a good change for me. But there are a few things I wish I had known before I switched from testosterone shots to testosterone gel that would have saved me a lot of stress and worry. The first one has to do with contact with other people. So when you're on testosterone gel, there is a way for it to transfer to people that you love. So it can go transfer to your partners, to your children, different things like that. So you do have to be very careful that in the first 15 minutes or so of putting it on, that nobody touches you or that you don't touch anybody. And that you wash your hands after to make sure that it's off your hands and different things like that. So at first I thought this was going to be a bigger problem than it really is. When I first thought about switching, I was like, oh crap, I'm going to have to avoid my loved ones and it's going to be a whole thing to make sure that they aren't getting testosterone gelled and don't have changes. And so the first 4 months or so, I was really worried and watching Beth a lot to make sure she wasn't her voice wasn't getting deep or random things that happen when you're on T. But overall, I have not had a problem with that. Like I said, it's only for the first 15 minutes. So a lot of times I'll put on testosterone gel before I go to work or into another environment where I know people are not going to touch me and I'm not going to touch people. And doing it that way, I haven't had any problems. I guess my biggest thing is that I wish that I hadn't worried as much because it's not that big of a problem. The second thing I wish I had known before I switched was that it's the same substance. Testosterone gel is the same as testosterone shots. Testosterone is testosterone. And I wish at the beginning I had trusted my doctor more to know that this is the same thing and they wouldn't give me something that was going to dramatically alter the way that I am getting my testosterone or would throw off my levels or anything like that. So I wish I had just had more trust in my doctors and in testosterone as a whole that it's going to do what it's going to do, and I just have to wait for those changes to happen, and they will take their time, but they are coming. The third thing I wish I had known before I switched is that not having to prick myself and do shots is actually a pretty nice situation. Before, I was doing my testosterone shot once a week, and even though that's not very often, it was a time where I was pricking myself and I had to draw it up and do all of this weird medical stuff, it felt like. Whereas with the gel, it feels like rubbing on lotion or just rubbing on, I don't know, cream onto my skin, which is something that I do every day anyways. So it, I don't know, doesn't pull me out of who I am and put me in this weird medical place. It lets me feel like I'm doing just an everyday thing to contribute to my health of my skin, and also the health of my well-being and all of the other reasons that I'm on testosterone. So it's been cool. I wish I hadn't been as attached to I'm a tough person who does shots and that's my burden to bear for the rest of my life, when it doesn't have to be like that. I am going to have to be on hormones for the rest of my life. That's part of being trans for me and part of my transition, but it doesn't have to be this weird medical burden. It can be just the cool thing that I rub on my skin every day and gives me the changes that I wanted to see. So yeah, those are the three things I wish I had known or thought about more before I switched from testosterone shots to gel. I'd love to hear if you guys have any other thoughts, if any of you have switched, and as always, like and subscribe to see more like this, and I'll see you guys next week. Deuce.